Alycats and new viewers. So today is my part 2 of my October 2014 favorites. And, I love to make these videos. And I know some of you don't like them, but, that's perfectly fine. But I love to make these, so I'm going to make these. And I hope my camera's doing a little better today. Hope. And of course I do have a face full of makeup because I just got back from filming for my local TV station about entertainment news. So I'll have that on my social media if you want to check that out. But let's just get on to the favorites now, shall we? Because that's what you want to see. Duh. Alyssa, duh. So the first thing is my favorite CD, bringing that little section back. And that is Queen of the Clouds by Tovlo. Now this is an incredible CD. It just blew my mind, blew my expectations out of the water. I'd heard Habits and Got Love, and Habits has been playing on the radio, but I knew about it before. And it's just incredible. This whole CD is incredible, and it's broken up into categories. The sex, the love, the pain. And they really do, the songs categorize under those titles. Like, the sex is very, upbeat, bouncy music, which, most of the music is upbeat and bouncy, but, it's happy. And then the love, it's kind of like an aching, but it's still happy. And then the pain, you can feel her pain and the suffering. And it's just, it takes you on an emotional roller coaster, and it's an incredible CD. I'd recommend buying it anywhere besides Walmart because they will bleep cuss words out, but pick it up. And pick it up uncensored, please, because it doesn't do it just as if it's censored. But yes, this is my favorite CD of the month. I adore it. Now, my favorite book of the month is Gone Girl, which this is a gift to me, so it doesn't have a slipcover, but it's perfectly fine as long as I can see the spine. I'm about halfway through it, and I love it. It's so good. I can't say much about it because if I do, it will spoil the novel, but it's basically about a man whose wife goes missing, and it just tells about how everything unspools, I guess, which I'll be talking about the film in a minute. So, favorite book is Gone Girl. Gillian Flynn is a masterful writer, so I highly recommend reading this, but this is every man's worst nightmare. So this will give men terrible nightmares thinking about stuff that happens in this book. So just to give you a fair warning, but it's excellent. It's excellent. And now, moving on to movies I enjoyed this month. There's been several. Well, when I say several, I mean 2. And the first one is, of course, Gone Girl. Now, Gone Girl is the story of Nick Dunn, and like I said, his wife goes missing. Amy Dunn goes missing. And it's just fantastic. Ben Affleck, Rosamund Pike, Neil Patrick Harris, who plays against type, and he's fantastic. Tyler Perry, again, playing against type, but he's really good in his role. They're all phenomenal. They're all great. Carrie Coon as Ben Affleck's sister, she's great. It's just a phenomenal film. David Fincher directed this film, and if you didn't know, David Fincher directed Fight Club, Seven, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, all those really intense films. So this one definitely lives up to his caliber. And Gillian Flynn actually wrote the screenplay, which a lot of writers don't actually write the screenplays for their adaptations of their books. But Gillian Flynn did, and she did a fantastic job. She did cut some characters and scenes out, but that's to be expected with the film adaptation of a book. But it's really good. So I highly recommend going and seeing it because it's definitely worth the theater experience. But even if you can't see it in theaters, watch it on DVD. It's that good. And the second film is a little known, just little indie horror, I guess, say like a gem. And it's actually part of the After Dark Horror Fest 8 film pack. I forget what number it is. Like, After Dark has put so many of those out. But it's called Lake Mungo, and it's like a documentary. It's Australian, and it's about the story of a girl. She drowns, and her family starts seeing her ghost around the house, and it just has like the documentary feel with the interviews with different people that knew the family themselves. It shows footage. It's not really scary. It's more sad and unsettling than anything. There's one jump scare moment in the film, but other than that, I didn't get scared. It wasn't scary to me, personally, but it's very interesting. It's very unsettling and disturbing, and it's tough to watch, actually. It's packed in with a bunch of these other B movies, but it's really good. And I just recommend it. If you can find Lake Mungo or Netflix it, watch it. It's fantastic. fantastic. Like I said, not very scary to me, unless ghosts scary, like ghost movies scare you, but still a great watch. Now moving on to TV, which of course is jam-packed. Like the first half of this favorites, this is going to be jam-packed as well. But let's just start off with the first show that comes to mind, The Walking Dead. Now, this show started off with a bang, and this actually shattered ratings records on cable. 17.3 million viewers for the premiere episode. They shattered their own record with this, and that opening scene of The Walking Dead was brutal. If you haven't seen it, it's brutal. And a lot of people didn't expect that to be allowed on air, but it was. And of course, you know, this picks up right where season 4 left off, with them being in Terminus. And if you haven't seen the series, you have no clue what that is. But if you haven't seen the series, I highly recommend you watch it, unless you can't handle a lot of gore and violence, because it's so gory and so violent. There is some foul language, but it's such an amazing show. It shows the human side of the zombie apocalypse, like the human emotions of the zombie apocalypse, basically, and how they survive and how they interact with each other. And of course, like I always do, I'll have the trailers for every movie, TV show, game, whatever I mentioned down below in the description box, so you can see what I'm talking about, see if it interests you. So definitely check out The Walking Dead. Next show, of course, is Arrow. Arrow is based off the Green Arrow comic book series. It follows Oliver Queen after he gets off this island he was on for 5 years, and he becomes the Arrow, and it's just really excellent. It's a great action show. I'd highly recommend watching it if you like action adventure kind of shows. It's very action heavy. Every episode is just jam-packed with action. Stephen Amell is pretty good to look at. And, you know, I love the relationship between him and Felicity Smoke. I totally ship them. You know, there's awesome characters like, there's Roy and Diggle and Thea and all these other great characters. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful job they did with adapting the comic book series to a TV show. It's just excellent. One of the CW's best shows. And moving on to some more CW shows. The 100. The 100 is one of their newer shows. It's in season 2 right now. And it's just excellent. It's excellent. The story is basically 100 teenagers were sent to Earth after the apocalypse, basically. They had been living in space their whole life, but these were prisoners, and they were just in prison for doing just small things. And they were sent to Earth to see if it was habitable. And it's just brutal. It's brutal. I was surprised how brutal this show is, but it's really good. Again, very action-packed, very emotional, and it's just, season 2 started off with a bang, and I loved it. I loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Another show I've been loving, American Horror Story Freak Show. Now, I do have to have a disclaimer for this. If you are afraid of clowns, or even might have an inkling of a fear of clowns, do not watch this show. Twisty the clown will give you nightmares, okay? I don't like clowns, and Twisty freaks me out. It doesn't really give me nightmares, but you know, it might give some people nightmares. I know a lot of clowns have actually protested this show because of the depiction of Twisty, but again, I love American Horror Story. Each season is fantastic. They have phenomenal actors. You know, they have their mainstays, Jessica Lange, Sarah Paulson, Evan Peters. Then they have some more like Dennis O'Hare, Emma Roberts, Kathy Bates, Angela Bassett, Michael Chiklis. All these fantastic actors. And each episode this season is an hour and a half long, which is kind of weird to me because the previous seasons are all 1 hour. But this is basically a horror anthology series, and this time it's based in a freak show. So you see all these freaks. I don't like to call them that, but that's what they're calling the show. Set in 1952 in Jupiter, Florida. And of course there's a killer clown on the loose. It's fantastic. And I'm going to look at my cheat sheet to make sure I didn't miss any TV shows. Let me just look. Yes, I did miss a show. Of course, I always miss a show. Supernatural. How did I forget that one? I've been watching that since episode 1. Supernatural's back for the 10th season, and it's really good so far. Dean became a demon. I'm sorry if you haven't caught that yet. That was a spoiler. I'm sorry. But it's still got that humor. It's still got the family drama packed in. I still think after season 5, the show went a little downhill in quality after Eric Kripke left, but it's still a good show. So yeah, I highly recommend watching Supernatural, but if you're more interested in the scary stuff, watch the first 5 seasons, because after that it kind of delves into angels and demons and stuff. But again, Supernatural is a great show. Now for my favorite game this month, that would be The Evil Within. This is the perfect game to play for Halloween. This is brutally difficult, okay? Even on casual, I had it on survivor mode, which is normal mode. Too tough, so I bumped it down to casual. It does not really help to bump it down to casual, but again, this is a fantastic game. If you're a fan of survival horror, especially the Resident Evil series, especially Resident Evil 4, play this. It's amazing. You play as Sebastian Castellanos, and he has to go investigate this asylum because there's been a brutal mass murder, and you have to be really stealthy in this game, which I suck at. And you can devise all these different traps, and you can sneak up on enemies, and, you know, burn the... If you want to permanently kill them, you have to burn them with matches. It's really interesting. The graphics do have a few problems. There's a lot of texture pop in, even though it's a PS4 game, there's a lot of texture pop in. But that's minor, especially considering the type of game this is. It's great. It's very lengthy too, about 14 to 17 hours, I believe. I'm on chapter 8 right now. So yeah, I still have a ways to go before I'm finished. And the boss fights are very creative, actually. They're tough. The boss fights are tough, and I've actually kind of cheated my way through a few of them by accident, okay? Like, I tried beating them a million times, and then for some reason I did something cheap and they died. But I'm not going to reveal why I did, just so you can, you know, torture yourself. But great game. If you're on the fence about this and you want to pick it up, pick it up. Now, all the music I love this month is in the description box down below underneath the playlist, so you'll find all 10 songs with the links. Go listen to them, let me know which ones you like, and, you know, if you didn't like them, that's fine. But I like to spread my love of music. And finally, the last category are my favorite YouTubers of this past couple weeks. And let's just get started with these YouTubers because they're awesome. First off is Pt.2. I'm allowed to missay your name. Missay it. Dang it. Southern speak. We say missay sometimes over here. Anyway, he misspelled my name in one of the comments on his videos, and people started calling me that. Well, they typed that spelling. So now Alycat is spelled incorrectly sometimes, thanks to Pt.2. So I can missay your name if I want to. Yeah, I can say missay because I'm Southern. But getting back to the topic, I'm sorry for picking on you, Grimsy. But Pt.2 is awesome. He's just a great guy. He's very friendly, and he has this awesome collection. You know, he does different things. He does like pickups, and you know, he'll show you different like promotion deals that go on sometimes, like at Toys R Us or something. Like recently, he showed about the free amiibos that are being given out. Was that Toys R Us? I'm trying to think. If you bought like a certain game, you'd get a free amiibo. He does stuff like that. And he's just really, really nice, really cool, and you know, he's just a great guy in general. Awesome channel. He always finds really awesome games and stuff. So go check out Pt.2. Even though he did misspell my nickname, go check him out. He's still worth checking out. I'm not mad about that. I'll just tease him for the rest of his life by misspelling his name. It's gonna be misspelled in the description box down below. Believe me. Check it, Grimsy. Check it. Check it. Now I'm stuck on mispronouncing things because I was trying to mispronounce Grimsy's name on purpose. But the next YouTuber is Dave the NES guy. And I love to see your comments, Dave. And your videos are freaking hilarious. And he does it on purpose. But they're just so funny. He puts these effects in that just make the videos just pop to me. I guess that's the word, pop. But he does like pickup videos and stuff like that. But he needs way more subscribers than he has. He's excellent. He's an awesome guy, very funny. He's very nice. Everyone wants to be called very nice. But yeah, he's awesome. When he leaves comments on my videos, I just adore those comments. They're usually pretty funny. And, you know, he makes me laugh. Your videos make me laugh, dude, so good job. Go check out Dave the NES guy. He's just awesome. He's awesome sauce. Next up is 3 Kilobytes, and I actually found out about this channel through my friend Erica Zabo because she's dating Jay. But he's got a really awesome channel. 3 Kilobytes does a lot of great reviews, loot crate unboxings, you know, some lists and why they're excited about, you know, the Avengers or whatever, kind of stuff like that. And I personally love the reviews the best. They're very thorough, very in-depth. You kind of feel like you're in the game even though you're not. And he gives very, very on-point reviews. He articulates himself well. He lists the pros and cons of each game. Just great reviews. And he just seems like a great guy. I've mostly just seen Jay in the videos. I haven't seen a lot of his cohorts. But check out 3 Kilobytes. Awesome, awesome gaming channel. And the last channel I have to shout out is The Grid Gaming. The Grid Gaming has 2 awesome hosts, Aaron Stapish and Elizabeth Panos, both super friendly people. And they talk about like gaming headlines, stuff like that. And they also do like first looks at games. Sometimes they'll bring on guests and they'll talk about topics related to gaming. It's all about gaming. That's why it's called The Grid Gaming. But it's awesome. Check it out. And of course check out Aaron's channel, Retro Liberty, and Elizabeth's channel. She has her own fitness channel. I'll have those linked down below too as well, just as a little surprise for those 2 lovely people. And Elizabeth, we are friends from a distance. She'll get that Facebook reference. But yeah, check out those channels. And I hope you enjoyed this, you know, favorites video, even though I kind of got messed up after trying to mispronounce Grimsy's name. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, leave comments down below about your favorite stuff. Favorites that your friends and family can see. Share it as long as you do it nicely. And of course subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, because I'd love to have you as an Alycat so we can be friendsies and we can have fun and be geeky together and play games together and do all this fun stuff together. And just be my friend. Because if I say we're friends, we're friends. Grimsy42, we're friends. Elizabeth, we're friends. Aaron, we're friends. There you go. That's how I make friends. Seriously. But anyway, I'm gonna go. Peace and kisses.